Begin every video with a weird smile. Uh-oh, Dr. Terrence Michael Demeter. Let's add him. Dun, dun, dun. Question is, can you hear me normally?
I can hear you.
Yeah, because I don't have my Bluetooth in, and I'm going to try something. I'm going to try a little stuff differently. You see, after we had that conversation yesterday, and you saw I was watching them videos, and then there's lines of other videos. I said, man, I got to put on my tinfoil hat. This is getting crazy. And I was watching a video. I sent you another. I don't know which one it was, but I was watching it and I was listening to it in my ear while I was doing laundry. And for whatever strange reason, a segment of what he had said, it started like replaying. Like he went from, this could happen this way for strange people. And it like started out there, and I said, "Damn, he's starting that segment over." So I thought the YouTuber was like messing with his audience, like replaying the segment again. No, I had not even watched that segment of the video. I went back looking for. I was like, he didn't. But it's like my mind skipped ahead in time and then came back. I don't know. I'm not on any kind of drugs or anything. So, in case people I work for, like, hey, that was just weird. So I was like, it's tinfoil hat time.
The tinfoil hat sign is on. Tinfoil hat on.
The tinfoil hat time has started.
Hmm.
Uh-oh. We got some feedback on the what you call it over here.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Can you hear that humming noise?
I cannot.
Okay, that's a good thing. I was trying to put some music in the background that is something that I own, or let's see if this is something. I'm just trying to put something in the background. I was trying to get everything set up. Yeah, that's good. You can't hear that noise, that music.
I can hear the music. Yeah, I don't hear any weird noise.
All right, cool. All right, so let's get into the video. You basically you basically sent me a video talking more of the Mandela effect. And the last time we talked, you left with a very good idea of what the Mandela effect is. Do you remember what you told me?
No.
All right, so you basically, and I did a video of it. I didn't write it down. I did a video of it. Basically, what you broke down is maybe the Mandela effect is people experiencing like they die and then they come back because, or we watched the video where they were talking about they die and they come back and they're not ready to leave, but they can't come back to this specific universe. So
Yeah.
the fact is they can get to the next one over. So if this is universe one, they can get to universe 0.1, 1.1, or 1.2, or 1.3. So they can get to the very next one that is closely to this universe as possible. And what you're basically saying is the more times they pass, the more times they do this, the deeper the Mandela effect gets, because now there's more things obviously not the same. So it's going further and further down the rabbit hole. So we were talking about Mandela passed away in 82, but in this universe, Mandela was a library teacher. You see what I'm saying? It's changed even so much, even more. And the person who's realized is the person who refuses not to move on, but keep wanting to jump universe to universe. You basically explained that. I have to look at the video again. I made a video instead of writing it down. So, but that's
No,
basically
yeah, and I know what you're saying. I was saying, it's based on Everett's many worlds theory of quantum physics, where for every thing that happens to you, the universe is created. Now, I mean, I think it has to be a significant event. I mean, that's my personal opinion. Like, let's say you start out today and you usually just grab a banana and a cup of coffee and go to work, and then today you eat oatmeal. Okay, I don't think that in itself will create a separate universe. But if like eating the oatmeal delays you to the point where you're rushing to get to work and you have a serious accident,
mhm,
then you know what I mean, another universe will be created. Like I don't think minor things like what do you eat for breakfast, unless something changes enough to make a separate universe appear. You know, there's major life events. Um,
yes,
so we were talking about. You sent me a video. I think that was a Bashar video. I mean, I tried to look for it again, but I think that's who that was. And he was saying that we all die. We're in a, holy crap, that was a close call in my car. I could have died.
yes,
Or we have an illness or something, and that we do die, and that just when we pass over, we make that choice of no, I still got more to do here, and then we come back, we're not even aware that happened, and we're in a slightly different universe. You know what I mean? And I think like the universe has grace to it. You have to come back to a universe that's the same as the one you left. Or you're like, I mean, you can't come back. I'm married to a different person. I live in a different state. I got to be work tomorrow, but I don't know where I even work because I was completely confused. But maybe you have those minor changes, like okay, the universe is the same for you. You live in the same place, do the same thing. But in this universe, Tom Cruise, in risky business, he's not dancing with his sunglasses on. You know what I mean? And that's really a kind of what difference does it really make to you? And then we were talking about, it's going to get more personal. What happens when it becomes real? Like we were talking a week or two ago about if the Mandela Effect, why is it just Nelson Mandela, Queen, Tom Cruise, the Bernstein Bears, the Ed McMahon, these celebrities that really don't matter to you. It doesn't change your life. But what if something happened to what changed your life? You know what I mean? And I that what we talked about yesterday of say you look back and you broke out some old photos when you were younger, like the prom or something. And you look at that photo and go, holy crap, man, I remember wearing a white tuxedo at the prom. And look at that picture, I'm wearing a black one. How did that happen? That's like the Mandela effect. And actually, we were talking yesterday, I did have that personal experience. I saw you the video with the Shriners kids. Remember the Shriners kids singing I'll Be Home for Christmas? Okay, and then where I live, I want my wife watch. We have our little Walmart antenna, so we watch cozy TV at 8 o'clock at night, and chilling out watching Frasier reruns. So that thing's on every 15 minutes. They got that dang commercial on with the kids singing. Okay, since about Thanksgiving. So I've seen that commercial what, 20, 40, 50. I mean, a bunch of times. Okay, and I never noticed anything odd about it. Where I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. That's the way I thought it was, right? Until last week when I showed the video, second kid singing, and it was like I heard it, and I'd heard it, and this is an old commercial. It's on every year. I never noticed anything about it until last week. I'm like, what's wrong with that kid? Like why? What's he singing? And I looked up, and you sent me the video of the last Mandela Effect, and I found out that I'll Be Home for Christmas is a Mandela Effect, which I was unaware of. I didn't know that at the time that I saw the kid singing it wrong. I didn't know. I was like, I'm a break as a Shriner's kid. Maybe he just can't sing it right. So I'm not gonna make a big deal. And I looked up, it's like, then I listened to it again. It's like he's singing, "You Can Plan on Me," and it's like, Shit, man. I mean, that's an old course. How did that happen? And this is like a personal experience where I noticed it. You know what I mean? And then I didn't realize that someone had classified it as a Mandela effect, and I looked it up, and it is. So I think as it progresses, it's going to get more personal. You know what I mean? It's going to start to get to the point in the universe where it's gonna affect you. It's not just gonna be Tom Cruise or I mean Ed McMahon or some celebrity, that really doesn't make a difference in your life whether he's wearing sunglasses or not. It's gonna get more than that. So then I thought the next thing is like because we're always talking about like ascension. What is it? I have my video as I'm sorry, my channel is called New Earth Ascension, where I kind of discuss that deeper of are we in some kind of ascension process, 3D to 5D or back to a golden age, and how is that going to work? So it came to me, because I have a nephew and he's very clairvoyant. We talk, and one of the things we always agreed on was we both felt like the timelines, the universes are getting closer together. He's like, yeah, they are. And I'm like, yeah, I just feel like they are. My rationale was, let's say you do a lot of personal work in this life, okay, and you move beyond really this 3D matrix. You're ready for the next experience. You don't want to come back to this earth. So, somewhere in the multiverse, there is an Earth that maybe never had World War II. Maybe I mean, it's just a better Earth, and that my theory is the timelines are moving closer together. So when you pass, it's easier for you to jump to that better Earth. So coming back to this, when you just to ascend, you just move to a better Earth. One that's more peaceful, people are more compassionate and empathetic. Yeah, the whole 9 yards. And maybe that's what's happening is the timelines are moving closer together, and now they're just starting to kind of intersect. I mean, so we're having a piece of this timeline and a piece of that line that's mashing up. And my latest theory is like the ascension ultimately may be just these timelines coming into one where we talked yesterday, and I was saying that I thought, I'll be 95 years old somewhere, and see like, yeah, there's these old people, and a lot of them are remembering that there was a world war. You know what I mean? They're all senile because they remember there's a world war. They didn't fight in it, but their parents did. And that didn't happen. There's never a World War II. I mean, that type of thing where it just gets more and more drastic, but better in a way. And so we have these.
You know what this sounds like, don't you?
Yeah, like I need a tinfoil hat.
It sounds like dementia.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like people who have
yeah.
dementia, they're slowly moving from this reality and transitioning over.
I mean, it could be. I'm sure if that actually happens to me, you're 90 years old. People are like, well, he's just got dementia. I mean, he's just not remembering things right. But if that happens on a large scale, then, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I had some family relatives that had dementia, and they didn't all remember the same event. I mean, they were off on things, but if you have this large group of people, and it's just an odd occurrence that people 80 years old and above remember being taught about a world war, and there's no record of that, but these people are just like, we all remember it. It's something like that. I mean, I'm just making it up. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but could we be heading towards something like that where we're have these timelines converging, and the ascension process is essentially just eliminating all the sort of more lower vibrational timelines. It'd just be eliminated. Will merge into sort of a golden age. And I'm saying it's going to take thousands of years. I'm not saying we're going to see this in our lifetime, but it's just a theory. If they are converging together, could that cause the Mandela effect, where we're starting to see other possible realities merge into ours?
Well, one, I want to go. We had a guest earlier who was on here, asked, was saying greetings, King. Uh they said that they need to put on their tinfoil bonnet.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
It's crowded. I kept looking at that. I was like, I wanted to say something like that. I said, man, look. Hey, I don't think this is working. Actually, man, my head feels weird having this on.
Yeah,
Uh,
so the thing is, you got to get rid of the baseball cap. You got to go pure tin foil right on the scalp.
Hell no, I don't want no aluminum directly on my head. Uh, Now, look, I was watching a lot of stuff yesterday, just listening to a lot of different things. I feel like 90% of it is misdirection. I feel like 90% of it is to take people away from what is really going on. And that is somehow a large amount of the population, and we don't know how many, we just know it is a larger amount. I would say at least thousands of thousands, let's say 100,000 people are remembering certain events that in this timeline did not happen. They're remembering certain movies that in this timeline didn't happen. Like I say, I think the misdirection is like um, Tom Cruise wearing the shades, because in the original he didn't wear the shades, but in a lot of remakes and stuff, people change stuff up, and I think that's what's going on with the music and stuff. They show Madonna singing a Michael Jackson song and adding her own lyrics. Chris Brown did the same thing and he added his own lyric. Aretha Franklin was notorious for adding lyrics to her own song during live events. And I think that's what's confusing people. And I think whatever the agenda is, that's what's trying to break them away from it. Is this, and another person brought up CERN, uh, is the Large Hadron Collider that started up in 2013, is this part of the issue? And they started back up in 2022. And then someone brought in and said, well, these things were happening way before CERN happened. So I think something is happening, but I think it goes back to what I said. We go back to non-playable characters, the inorganic ones, as Ralph Smart coined the phrase. There's beings here whose sole purpose is to guide you away from the truth and to put you on an alternate path. And there's beings whose purpose is to guide you to that path. And I think that's where we're at. We're trying to figure out a theory that makes sense of what's going on. But I don't, I'm not like, a genius in this. I'm watching other stuff too and trying to figure it out. It's like, this is a good one. This is a good one. But what you said last week when we got through talking, I told you we always be having those viral moments. Uh, it made that resonated with me more than anything. It's like the more times you keep moving from planet to planet, reality to reality, things would seem like they're just changing a little bit more. And the further you get down that rabbit hole to where you were at, like you were saying, at 95, you're remembering World War 35, and there never was a World War 35,
Yeah.
because you've experienced so much along the timelines. So,
Yeah, I mean, you sent me that TikTok where the guy was playing the old VHS tape, and it has Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father." So there seems to be people who have,
but and see, that goes back to the misdirection, because if you watch the one that talked about that, was it is the law of conservation. You cannot bring something from another universe into this universe.
yeah,
Your thought punches, your energy is the only thing. So you're not going to bring a VCR tape or something like that to say, well, this is what happened, because that means you have the power to now go back and forth or pull from that other universe. And why we just didn't go back to the universe. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
That kind of led me to the idea of like I said, I was talking with my nephew, and we were saying we thought the timelines were convergent, so that if you do the inner work, it's easier for you to get to a universe where the Earth's just a nicer place. You can stay incarnate again, human, and you're not, back here. Dolores Cannon talks about that divide, 3D to 5D. We're gonna have the splitting of the Earth, where the people who basically did the work and worked on the enlightenment, they're gonna go to 5D. What does that really mean? It's not a real good term, 5D. I think somebody just you had these people in the 80s sort of being sensitive and intuiting that this was something that was going to happen. And someone just used the phrase three dimension to five dimension, and it just caught on because it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you break it down. But I digress. If you do have like timelines, universes kind of coming together where they're interlooping, could that be the cause of it too? Because it is. I mean, the death thing kind of makes sense. Are you jumping timelines because you're not corporate. You're deceased, so your soul makes a decision. Well, I do want to keep experiencing life, but they're like, well, yeah, but in this universe, I mean, your body's mangled. I mean, like you can't just jump back into that. So we have to put you into another universe where you never had that car accident, where you can live. You know what I mean? So they put you into another body, and like maybe, like you say, in that universe, Ed McMahon never did what do you do, Prudential or something, the life insurance, or one of those common ones, because it's either that or they're faking it. I mean, I guess you could just take every possible copy of Risky Business you can get your hands on and change the scenes, and I don't know how to do it. I mean, are they really that devoted to actually doing this type of thing?
I think some things on the internet can be changed, like certain things that are more into the internet can be easier changed, but people have old DVDs, people have old stuff. So, like I say, they're finding an old DVD. If that is true, that means somebody's really going through a lot in this world.
To change it, yeah.
Why would you change something like that?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I believe 95% of it is just misdirection.
Mm.
There's something going on, and what's going on has to be misdirected from the masses because the masses don't need to become aware, because it goes back to the theory of what is it, 1% or 10%? I think it's 10%. That once 10% of the people start to become aware, then there's a domino effect that starts moving up the chain where more and more people become more aware, more aware, more aware. So, like, hey, I'm waiting for all this to see what happens. This 5D jump, this World War 35, all these things that are happening. Like, let's put it like this, and we got to be careful because I'm about to say something political. So I saw Chef Aki today left a post on Instagram, and it was a Christmas tree, and half the Christmas tree, this nice, beautiful Christmas tree, said the world, and then the other half of the Christmas tree was a photograph of a bomb saying Gaza. This is what's going on in Gaza. So it's like Gaza's being bombed out of existence, and everybody else in the world is celebrating Christmas, and it's like there's this agenda that keeps trying to push towards war, push towards a global apocalypse, a doomsday, a Walking Dead moment, all these things. One of the video games that I'm playing right now is called The Division 2, and it started literally. I bought the first copy, I think it was 2015, and I was really into playing in like 2016, and it was about something called the dollar, which multiple viruses mixed together and was connected to dollar bills, and it was spread across the country and then across the world. And this thing had like a 80% mortality rate. Like, it was knocking the planet down like hundreds of millions and millions, billions of people. It was like eating through people. And what's so interesting about it, 3 years later, we go through the pandemic. And some of the scenes were played out, some of them, not all of them, because it really just got, it really got more Walking Deadish, but not as far because there was no, zombies. But I remember certain scenes like them storing bodies outside in the cold in New York City in containers and stuff like that. Those were some of the scenes from that game. And it's like I'm playing it right now. This is like years into it. This is part two, and they're in Washington D.C. It's like there's some type of a keeps pushing that direction, but I don't know why. I don't know what's the reason. What is the reason? Because it's like humanity is fighting against it. Don't you feel like humanity's fighting against a war?
I do, and it came to me when you're saying that you said there's the inorganics, the Anunnaki, the Elohim, whatever you want to call the sort of
I
negs.
saw his name, the Elohim, yesterday.
Yeah, and maybe with the sort of ascension, the change in frequency, we're having some help from the white hats. You know what I mean? Coming in, kind of doing it behind the scenes, and if they're capable of changing stuff with universes, did something like the pandemic speed it up? Where okay, like you said, maybe they had designed it to be 80% lethal, but there's
Hmm.
always a chance when you get any kind of illness, you got you can die or you cannot die, and they just are managing to alter the reality to the point where more and more people just didn't die from it. And if that's happening, would that speed it up to the point where we're having this accelerated Mandela effect? You know what I mean? And
But
think about
who
what
has
happened in the last couple of years. How many people, were in a situation where like they could have died. You mean this was a deadly thing? You know what I mean? And do we have some kind of white hats behind the scenes manipulating the reality so that so the human race has more of a chance
okay?
and
But
it's
that's
affecting the timeline?
who has that kind of power where they can just kill people or kill off people. Don't you see what I'm saying? So we say there's a God. We today is of all days Christmas. Today is Christmas. We say we celebrate this as being, Jesus' birthday, which people have broke down a million times that Jesus wasn't born on December, 25th, but this is what's celebrated. But if there's a God, if there's a Jesus, if there's a heavenly being, who is allowing this kind of crazy chaos to go along when it obviously seems humanity's trying to fight against it?
Yeah, I mean, my theory is, after we had a great flood, at the end of the last ice age, that's I mean, every culture has its flood myth that's in the Bible. It wasn't 3,000 years ago. There's no way. I mean, that would be remembered. It was like 11,000, 12,000 years ago. And I think when that reset button was pushed, whoever you want to call it, source, God, some kind of higher galactic council, galactic federation, heavenly council, allowed these beings to come in, these negative beings, because for the past couple of cycles, I mean, every culture has a history of, Prometheus, the light bringer, brings fire to humanity. He's taken out by Zeus and tortured. You have, Quetzalcoatl. He's, killed by poisoned by his brother and driven off. You have Osiris in Egypt, who has his brother Set kill him. You have all these myths of at one time there was this Enki and Enlil. And there's a lot of them where it starts out and we're in this sort of golden age type of thing, ruled by an Enki or a Osiris or Quetzalcoatl, and then they always have their foe that comes in and messes things up. You know what I mean? And takes over the rule to where we're ruled by these kind of darker beings. And I think the reason for that was on a spiritual level, we have our free will, we have our I am, we have our individuality. We're not just this collective herd anymore of humans. And the people who want to go full evil have to be allowed to. And if you live in this like golden age of Osiris, you know what I mean, of where everything's just happy and ruled over by Isis and Osiris, and it's this great place. You don't really have the ability to go full evil, and it's like for some reason the people, the souls who really want to experience that like hell existence, you know what I mean, that service to self reality, have to be given the chance, and they are, you know what I mean? What's that?
I'm checking my blood. Wow,
Uh, yeah,
sir.
I know, it's just, it's like they are. That's a law of one type of thing where you have service to others, people who are like the good guys, and you have service to self, and it's because it has to be allowed for true free will. If you want to go full evil, you have to be allowed to have it, and we have to
So
have
okay,
the experience to do that.
just gave another good theory. So I'm asking the question, who is allowed? Why is this allowed? So basically, this is allowed. So there's beings here who want to experience evil, experience
Yeah.
just the worst of the worst.
Hmm.
That's what this is being allowed. We're allowing this. We're allowing other co-creators to experience this. But I want to experience the total annihilation of them and the consumption of them back into the universe. Am
Yeah.
I allowed to do this to them?
Well, I mean, ultimately, that will happen. The good will triumph. I mean, you just have to stay on that positive path, and it might take a couple of lifetimes. I mean, a lot of people have us like, well, there's going to be this, you know, solar event, and then we're all going to ascend to some, you know, perfect Earth. Like, I mean, I don't go with that. I think there is an ascension. There is a raising in consciousness. We are moving towards the positive side, the white side. But I mean, it's going to take a while. I mean, nothing happens instantaneously. Source, when you design the universe, there's certain natural laws in place. You have to obey those laws.
Hmm.
You can't just jump to it.
The concept of evil having its reign.
Yeah, I mean, how do you know good without evil? How do you know light without darkness? How do you know truth without ignorance? I mean, what I mean, and we're to this point where to reach that next level in our evolution, we have to choose it. We have to individualize. We have to be sovereign, and we choose it. But we literally have to choose, to be God, to be, what's the word? We have to choose that reality you want. If you want to experience that, you can, but you have to choose it. You have to do the work on yourself, clear yourself out, clear out your negativity. I mean, do the work, and you will experience. Maybe not in this body, but eventually, you can keep reincarnating into an earth that is getting better, and eventually, people like that will not be able to. I don't think as the Earth's raising its frequency. You know what I mean? The law of one would say we're moving from third density into fourth density, and a higher density is like it allows more light in. We're becoming more light bodied, and eventually we'll just reach the point where those nags won't be able to incarnate anymore. Just because they're not keeping up with the Earth, and they'll have to go stay with another Earth, or what I mean, go somewhere else. And those of us who are doing the work and are obtaining enlightenment, choosing service, choosing a heart centric life over an ego based selfish life, um, will progress forward in that direction. It's going to take time.
These are some interesting theories, sir. You've put some interesting thoughts and interesting theories into the universe.
Yeah, and I'm trying to work on that with my channel. Just got some meat and potatoes on my channel. I gotta try to say it right.
I got the good hat on to protect my alpha waves, my brain waves from it. All right, so this has been a very interesting show. Another show. We're 35 minutes into it. The funniest comment. We just got one good comment. They were talking about putting on their 10-4 bunny.
Yeah. good.
That was the best. Like I say, we'll have to come up with something to talk about next time. We need to lighten up the subject next time because, man, my brain is like on an overload now. It's like,
Yeah,
and when you sent me that video and then I
yeah.
started going down that rabbit hole of all them other ones, I was like, too much.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot, and the Mandela effect, I'm not aware of. It's never really been my thing. You know what I mean? Like I know because it's hard to explain, but like I said that I had that like personal experience. Let me put this out. You know, if this is something that's really happening, this going forward, and let's see what happens. Maybe somebody listening will chime in, or will remember this. Will it get more personal? I mean, will we start to have those odd experiences of? And you sent me the video, and I looked at some of the comments. Okay, and this one guy said, "Yeah, man, you know, I got my tat on my left arm. You know what I mean? And now it's on my right arm. I didn't think at the time to think like, do you got pictures? I mean, you know, like look at me, it's tats on my right arm. It's I like something like that would prove it. I mean, are we going to get to the point where we are seeing that? Like, dude, I mean, look, there's a picture. You know, I got a tat. I made a video. I showed it off on, you know, on social media. I see it, and now
The
it's on here.
camera,
What happened? You know,
cameras do backward stuff all the times, because when you're watching videos and stuff, people have stuff, but if they do reverse inverted thing on there, it looks like it's on the
yeah,
other.
I mean,
Uh,
I get what you're saying, but I was saying that, you know, a personal experience where,
yeah,
you
but
don't
see,
need to believe me, you
it
know,
needs not to be personal.
you know, personal.
It needs to be connective. Like
Exactly, like I said, the
it's
prom
it's
photo or something
millions,
where
it's
you're like,
millions of
dude, I know I was wearing a white tux, now I'm wearing a black. I have no way of ever proving, you know, that I was wearing a white tux. It's only I got one photo, and in the photo, I'm wearing a black tux. So I swear to God. You know, what I mean, like those type of experience where it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna tell anybody because it sounds crazy, but to
But see,
me,
that's what I'm saying. That goes back to memory, though.
uh,
That's what's getting us because I'm telling you, some things that I thought, and they're just recent, I have a very good memory, but I've noticed certain tweaks in certain things.
yeah,
And I was like, I can't really, I believe in my memory, and I'm confident in certain things, but what I'm looking more is globally. Are you, me, Lanzillo, John, Vaughn, everybody remembering back in the day something that happened at the mall, and then that it didn't happen like that. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That's what I'm looking for. That is the
those
moment.
type of
Like,
things. Yeah, I mean, and we'll see more
somebody
of that. Yeah,
somebody comes up and goes, yeah, you remember Mrs. Kroll? Man, she was a
mm,
good director. I'm like, Mrs. Kroll? Who are you talking
yeah,
about? Yeah, Kroll was the
yeah,
director.
something
She was
like
an
that.
excellent. I was like, wait, Kroll was a guy.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
he was that's what I'm talking about. It's like
yeah,
I'm looking where all of us are sharing a memory, and that shared memory is not because I'm telling you, Alzheimer's, a lot of other brain issues and
yeah,
stuff. The brain, the memory's all stored there. It's not really stored. The experience, the feelings are stored in the energy and in the spirit, but the memories are just connected to this body. So my thing is, if we're all having that event that we all remember, you know, and is that event not that event anymore? Everybody's not remembering it the same, or the event never even happened. That's what I'm more paying
yeah,
attention to. So-called Mandela effect, because I'm telling you, I look, you got to take. That's why I told you I didn't want to put tinfoil onto my mind itself, because they say aluminum messes with your brain cells and stuff like has different reactions in your body. Um, is over time, I believe over time, what we think happened and stuff like that, I think those can be distorted. But when it's a shared memory,
Yeah.
like we talk about something for years, and then all of a sudden, half of us don't have those memories anymore. It's like, oh,
Yeah, I was talking about that movie, called Yesterday about the Beatles, where you
yes,
know
that was a good one.
it happened, and this guy jumps universes, and the Beatles never existed, but he remembers them. He remembers all these songs, and he's a
But how
struggling
did
musician.
other people remember?
Exactly. So that's the event we're looking for, though. Is other people showed up like as shows with yellow submarines. Like it wasn't a lot, but there was a group of people like we're talking about that remembered it. There was a group of old people, people over 80. And it's odd that they remember being taught in school about a world war. That never. I'm just using these as examples.
Watch this movie. You got to
Start
watch this
seeing
movie.
something like that. That's what we need to look for. Like you said,
Yes,
you got
that's
10
it.
people are like, dude, you remember that? But that's what's happening now. I remember Tom Cruise wearing sunglasses. You remember Tom Cruise wearing sunglasses. I
Yeah.
definitely remember Ed McMahon doing them commercials. Like I said, with the kids, where I just noticed that. To me, it always been, you can count on me. I mean, I'm not the only one saying that. And I just noticed last week, the kid, and I've been watching this stupid commercial for how many years now? And it probably started in Thanksgiving. This is Christmas. This couple of weeks, and I'm playing. I never noticed anything. Then one day, I'm just like, "What's wrong with the kid? What's he saying that for?" And when I noticed the kid saying that, I didn't know that was Mandela Effect. It's not really my thing. I don't study Mandela Effect. You sent me that video, and I'm like, holy crap, that's a Mandela effect. You know what I mean? So we need to start seeing like events like that, like I said, with a group of people from the mall, or hey man, we all remember, there's small of us, we just remember the Beatles, and you wouldn't be able to fake that because how would all the people remember those same songs? I mean, something like that. Is that predicting that this will happen? I mean, well, yeah, there's hallucinating. There's no Beatles, but we okay. One, two, three. Let's all sing "Love Me Do." I mean, let's all sing. And like, how would you have a group of a few thousand people just knowing those songs? It'd be a very mysterious thing. Or remembering
That's
World War II or something.
that's the key
So,
right there.
let's see what happens going forward. I mean, you got to give it a few years, but it seems to be accelerating. And like I said, maybe with the pandemic, if we do have some kind of white hats interfering and can manipulate behind the scenes to make the outcome more favorable for humanity, maybe
Keep
these things are being made where it just look, we have to, the only way we can do it is put him in that universe where Tom Cruise wasn't wearing the sunglasses. I mean, or that type of thing, you know what I mean? But let's see if it gets more personal, like we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's not just some celebrity movie thing, But I mean, a lot of people remember that. Why? You know what I mean? Like, man, it was you can count on me. I mean, it just was. You know what I mean? Now it's you can plan on me. Why? I mean, and like I said, I've been
that,
listening to that commercial now, and just last week, I noticed it, and it's like the one thing I'm like, what's he singing? And I gave him a break because otherwise the Shriners he probably just can't sing it right. But and I listened to it again, and I sent you the video. He's singing the chorus like you can plan on me, but it changed. So those have a personal. That was a personal experience for me. And let's see going forward, are we having more of those? You know what I mean? Or we're getting
yeah.
more than a couple of people, or just a personal thing saying, "Yeah, I remember that there was this group called the Beatles," and I don't know, they're saying there wasn't. You know what I mean? But we all remember the songs. I mean, we can all sing the damn songs.
Interesting.
So if
Then
something like that happens, it'd be interesting going forward to see what happens with it. Is it
that's
accelerating?
what I say. This is we brought up a subject. This we can always look back at these videos, hopefully.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh my God, they've been changed.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the videos changed? That would be like I say. I think bringing attention to stuff that magnifies certain things. So that's where yeah, we'll see how this goes. Uh, you doing anything else? You got have y'all cooked? Are y'all going there? You doing anything today?
No, no. My Karen's working until she'll go home to about 8:30. This is my chill day, man. I got food ready, and I got nothing I just worked 6 days. Yeah, I just worked, today, and I volunteered for Christmas. So yeah, I'm off tomorrow. I'm just gonna chill. So, if you want to talk? That's fine. I'm just gonna be chilling.
I'm starting back on work week. I got 4 more days and then I'm off next weekend. That's the good thing about what I'm doing right now. The weekends, unless I'm on call, so if the phone rings, I got to get up and go.
Yeah,
Save the city.
yeah.
You know.
I'm off tomorrow, so I don't really got anything to do today. It's all done. That's why yesterday I was like, it's like, man, I just wanted to get done because like I knew I had to do all these things, and if I get them done, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can do a video and I can chill and.
Dude, I'm telling you, yesterday it was so weird. It was like things were happening, some weird circumstance, like the washer would not do, there was no water. It was doing all the things, but there was no water. The timer wouldn't go down. Then another issue, the doors wouldn't open. I said, boy, it's some weird energy. I said, man, let me just get back home. I
I mean,
said,
maybe that's the thing. We're kind of learning. We create our own reality. Personally and as a collective. And crazy as everyone is, maybe we're creating the reality where Tom Cruise didn't wear the sunglasses, but Homer Simpson is. I mean, there's weird things like that. I've kind of. You ever have like something goes wrong. Maybe something wrong with your car, something breaks, and you're just like you try to fix it, and you're like it's just not working. You cannot do it. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna walk away from it. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. And you come back tomorrow, better attitude, and bam, it works. You ever have that? I mean, a lot of people, most people have had that experience of, and a lot of it's like you can feel that energy. It's like, man, it's just a damn energy in here, and things start going weird. I mean, they do, and then you like take a break, come back, fresher, more positive energy. Maybe that's our experience. Is we're realizing we are co-creators of the reality, and we need to be careful with what we think.
yeah.
Like I
Okay.
said, don't don't make something into a problem. It's not. You don't know that's a problem. You're just projecting this is going to be the worst case scenario. But you don't know that. Wait till it happens. I mean, and some of the things like project. I noticed that does work. I mean, like I can. I like. It's important to you start your day, little meditation, and you're calm. Your day goes a lot better if you started that way than when you wake up and you're in a panic. You're just like running your ass off, and and then how it goes. Then you can't get it all done, and it does. And it's like maybe that's just the lesson: is collectively we need to learn to calm down, chill out, support each other, be more and and if we are, we won't create those chaotic nodes, those chaotic moments.
Yeah.
That
Makes
was
sense.
fun. Yeah, who knows? But it makes sense. I mean, that's a personal experience. Well, I noticed that definitely my attitude and the energy of people around me will make a difference. And I tell you the story about my wife and my mother-in-law at the airport, right? Or
Yeah.
in an airport, and it's like a holiday. And oh my God, she's gonna miss her flight. Ain't no parking spaces. And I just said, look, just stop. I'm like, imagine, just picture a space opening up. And for
Yeah.
whatever reason, I guess we were desperate enough, they actually did. And I'm telling you, dude, bam, there it was, right at the back. I mean, and there's a lot to be said for I think doing simple things like that. Picturing the outcome that you want. What I mean, and having the energy that supports that. Man, I am not perfect at that. I learned that the hard way. I mean, where I can't do that every day. Some days I'm just freaking, I'm out of control. I'm not out of control, but it's like you're out of control. You're not really where you want to be spiritually, emotionally. Sometimes, for whatever reason. But when I am, it flows. I gotta be in that flow. That flow state. So going to 5D, finding what you want in 5D, and pulling it down to 3D. They got it
Mm.
reversed, where they got you going from 3D to 5D. It's no. You go to 5D, you find what you want in the many worlds interpretation, in the many, and you say, I want that, and bring it down. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone says that's the secret. I mean, that's power positive thought. I mean, it's very common sort of way of doing it. Focus on what you want, write down what you want, and look at it 3 times a day and trust that's going to happen. And a lot of people have tried that. I mean, I did that where I back in the day manifested things I wanted. I'm like, how do I do this? But I mean, I wrote it down. I focused on it, and it happened. And I mean, in a way, I stopped doing that because I know that what I manifested, I wasn't ready for, but I manifested it anyway. So now I'm just trying to get back into like, what do I want? How do I manifest this? But a little more sane, a little more mature expectations.
Very good. Good theories. This is very good information. It's calming and relaxing and focused.
Yeah. I mean, your whole energy. I mean,
Away
you
from
know,
the scary.
and you're talking about the inorganics, whatever. I was saying that video today, the David Icke video, where that's the loosh. I mean, there's these beings that they need energy, and they can't feed off of. We're calm, we're creating, we're empathetic, we're all serving, so they can't feed off the energy. They need you stressed out and anxious, and this is like, I mean, this is December, okay, Christmas time, the most wonderful time of the year. Statistically, however, I mean, there's more deaths, suicides, overdoses, what I mean, job losses, all kinds of stuff. It's a horrible time of year. It's cold out, it's wet, it's dark, but we're made to feel like if we're not participating in this mass psychosis of Christmas time, there's something wrong with
But,
us. But really, we should be
that's the
supportive of each other.
but that's the beauty of it. The worst time of the year where more people would be sick, more people would be suicidal, more people would be depressed and shut in, it's cold. They made these holidays around this time.
Man, we don't work that way though. You don't work in the hospital, man. I mean, you know how full we are over there in Kensington now. I mean, what is?
I'm not saying that people aren't. This is people are supposed to be sick and in the hospital during this time, but it's still people are in more jolly mood. People are in more giving mood. It's if you look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, in theory, that's the way it should be. What I'm saying is, instead of trying to do this like meme, this program of it's Christmas, you got to be this way. Be that way. Be giving. Be loving. Be understanding. But it doesn't have to be this TV version of It's a Wonderful Life. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. Just be those things. Be calm. Be forgiving. Be giving. Be and without it having to be like, I mean, this like what is the word, like projected thing, like this, this little thing. Well, it's Christmas time and you have to go pick out gifts, and you got to do Black Friday because you need the cheap gifts, and you gotta wrap, and we got to make cookies for everybody, and we need to make those fruit cakes, and like we all need to be happy, damn it, we all need to be happy, it's Christmas, you know
That person
and
needs.
like that. Just be happy, be understanding, be
Yeah.
giving, without it like being like, I have to be, and screw my family's coming. I remember I have a friend. When I was younger, I go over to his parents' house for Christmas. I was like, yeah, my mom, she got to have got 2 glasses of wine or Valium just to get through. Like, why do you got to make something so stressful where you need to medicate yourself just to get through? I mean, if you're truly happy and loving and giving, and it's a wonderful time, and it's great to see you. It's great to talk to you. Great to spend time. I love it. I don't need to medicate myself to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but people do. I mean, and so what I'm saying is, don't make it so stressful because of what it's supposed to be. what you have in
Yeah.
your mind. It's Christmas. It's supposed to be that. We're supposed to open presents on Christmas Day. We can't open a present on. I mean, everyone has those stupid little rules, and it's like, man, why? Why? It could be just a beautiful thing. Hey, we're gonna get the family together. We're gonna have some friends. We're gonna have a dinner together. We're gonna break bread, and we're just gonna enjoy ourselves. But
Do
no,
people,
it's not that. It has to be this. But well, that's not the way Grandma did it. I'm freaking out. I can't do it because you guys won't. It's like,
but that what you're saying rolls downhill to a lot of things. Why do people believe in this? Why there's so many religions? Why there's so many politics? Because that's what people do. They start separating from what the one is, and then they start separating, and then it's all out. And people start getting stressed at that point because the simplicity is taken out of stuff. Just be with the people you want. You don't have to be with your family. If you don't get along with your family, I advise you do not be with your family. You
exactly.
know,
But you have to be, and like, no, we have to eat a turkey, and Christmas is ruined because we. I mean, no, it's not. Just make mac and cheese. I mean, just why does it have to be? I mean, Christmas is ruined because no, it's not. Just friggin' do the things that Christmas, means. Not, it doesn't have to be about you got the perfect turkey, the perfect wrappings, the perfect star on the Christmas tree. You know what I mean? Like, you're either together and you're holding hands, singing "Kumbaya," and you're enjoying each other's company, or you got the one psycho person screaming, "Christmas is ruined because such and such didn't follow what I thought they should do for Christmas." When I'm sorry, everybody got them people in their family. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like I talked about my nephews, and we talked about that, and it's like we want to just get together. I mean, we'll just get together and enjoy each other's company. I mean, and it doesn't matter if we have the perfect turkey or star on the tree. It's just, man, we just want to get together and and it's like we talk about it, and it's like, well, okay, us three are down, but there's some other people who are not going to go with that. If I can't do my little ritual on Christmas, then it's ruined. And I hate you all. I mean, and just chill with that stuff. Just be with your family, be with your friends, and enjoy that, and be what Christmas, or I actually keep saying Christmas, the holiday season, because every sect and religion has their thing, and it could be Hanukkah or Diwali or Christmas. It doesn't have to be Christmas, but they all have that. It's seasonal. Let's get together. Let's break bread. Let's celebrate. Be thankful for what we got. I mean, I hated it when they had the Thanksgiving, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, Black Friday starts on Thursday at 6.
Hey,
And
stop.
you just went from like, man, we're just being thankful, naming all the things we're grateful for and thankful. Now we got to rush to Target and buy a bunch of crap, and like, why? Why make it into that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what they stopped. They stopped at Black Friday, starting on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Hey, you see, this year a lot of people didn't go out to Black
yeah,
Friday.
what they're saying, yeah. Uh, That's good. I mean, maybe there's those white hats, and we're having that sort of collective awakening of, look, man, we've done this enough, and we need to change,
All
not
right,
what we do, but how we do it.
we'll close it in on an hour. So the next one, I
Yeah.
want to change the next one because you keep mentioning the white hats, and we're too far in this. But I need you to explain the next time to the audience the white hat theory. Who
All
are
right,
these white?
I'll work on that. All right.
That's what we're going to do. So you let me know the next time you're available.
All right.
This is a very interesting show. Like I say, one day I'm gonna have to be able to get these videos and we'll share them and
Yeah,
be able
can you said if I get WhatsApp, could you send me some of these things so I can have them on my phone? Is that
to
is that
get.
possible?
I
Uh,
gotta be able to and put them on a computer and then be able to send them at that point. I hadn't got to that point. I hadn't been focused on it. I'm gonna talk to John in a minute and see how does he do it, and
uh,
he'll share information. Then I'll let you know.
like how would you do that? I mean, I don't know how to do it either. Like I don't know how to send someone a video on my phone with.
Well, I know how to send short videos, but
Not an
I know
hour,
how to
not an
take
hour.
I know how to take 1 minute clips of stuff now and
Yeah.
something like that. But other than that, no, you need other kind of service to change that much information. Because this video alone, I guarantee is a gigabyte.
Yeah,
So,
I was
so
curious. I don't know how to do it. So
yeah,
maybe if someone's watching and they know how, they can put in the comment section. How would we
John
upload
knows.
that
John
easily?
knows. I just had to remember to ask him. So, all right, with one hour down.
All right.
Thank you for the conversation. White hats. I'm gonna
Yeah.
hold you to white hat because I'm not even gonna look it up. I'm gonna wait until the day of, and then I'll start getting some information. Because I'm telling you, if I start looking up now, oh, I'm gonna get bombarded by the time that date. I've been like so much. I'm gonna wait until that date, and then I'm gonna start looking up. So
Yeah,
I
it's good. A lot of this stuff helps me because it's like I'm starting the new channel. I got my new extension channel. I'm just kind of starting with the basics. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I got like the meat and potatoes I want to do to my head, and how do I present that? And this helps me kind of organize my thoughts. You know what I mean? To how do I do it? You know what I mean? So that's cool. All right, we will work on that, and I'll keep in touch. And great talking to you.
All right,
And
enjoy the holidays as we wish peace, health, and wealth and gratitude to everyone.
everyone. All right, bye tinfoil hat people.
Till next time.
Yeah, shut this all off.